Chapter 890, Ignore Him. Regarding Miss Justice's question, Klein had already considered it some time ago. After all, leaving troublesome problems to the official organizations who could resolve them was his modus operandi. However, Leonard's and Pallas Zoros's reaction made him realize something different. Leonard was a red glove of the Nighthawks. He could easily create an informant to pass the news of Ammon being in Backland to the Church of Evernight, and then let the archbishop and high-ranking deacons decide on a strategy before carrying out an operation. It wouldn't expose his problem, and it could also quash any latent troubles. Yet, he had chosen to leave using the excuse of a mission. It was obvious to Klein that Ammon's appearance was tied to the reason for Leonard's choice of action. He had the suspicion that informing the Church of Evernight might result in unpredictable negative outcomes. Therefore, the angel of the marauder pathway in Leonard's body had denied this choice of action. And he was one of the existences who knew the various beyonder powers that Ammon possessed. When I have no idea what to do, the choice is undoubtedly to emulate those with experience. Although there's the gray fog separating us, and any problem will cease at Miss Justice's side, there's no need to take such risks. There aren't many members of the Tarot Club to begin with. Every one of them needs to be cherished. Thoughts flashed through the fool Klein's mind as he shook his head, and said with a calm, humored tone, "Ignore him." Ignore him? Mr. Fool's attitude is as if Ammon is a stray dog. In his eyes, only Sequence 0 true deities are worthy of attention. That's right. The last time the sun was possessed by Ammon's avatar, Mr. Fool had easily cleansed it away. As long as Ammon doesn't appear in person, it's not too big a problem for him. The reason Mr. Fool emphasized this matter at the beginning is to warn us to be careful. Alger thought in fearful respect and enlightenment. Audrey similarly interpreted the meaning that it was a trivial matter. She suddenly made the connection. Is Mr. World Jayaman Sparrow's temporary departure of Backland to avoid Angel of Time Ammon? To Mr. Fool, although he is still slowly recovering, his standing, level, and powers, it's not difficult for him to deal with Ammon's avatar. The sun's encounter is evidence. He got his blessed to avoid Ammon to not attract the Angel of Time's real body, as this can spoil his plans of awakening. Yes, he emphasized it to us as a warning, worried that we wouldn't react properly when chancing upon Ammon. Mr. Fool really shows his concern for us. At this moment, Lin had just digested the matter of King of Angels blasphemer Ammon's appearance in Backland. Although he was arrogant, repeated tarot gatherings had allowed him to understand what a King of Angels was. It was an existence second to sanguine ancestor Lilith, second to the true deities that sat at the pinnacle sequence. They were the strongest ones who walked the real world. What's going to happen this time in Backland? When the time comes, there will be dead people, the wounded, or the sick everywhere outside. I'll become busy again because of Father. Lin recalled his life after the great smog of Backland as he showed signs of fear that such matters would happen again. Fors also felt that the problem was significant. This was because if Angel of Time Ammon really wanted to do something, it was very likely that he would inflict damage on a large scale. It was something that she could avoid by hiding at home and not heading out. She silently drew a breath and looked to the end of the long bronze table, worriedly asking, "Honorable Mr. Fool, why is Ammon sending his avatar to Backland?" Klein deliberated over his choice of words and looked around the table with a smile. "To look for all of you. To look for us." The sentence seemed to be like bolts of lightning that struck Fors and company awake. It left their spines numb. Right on the heels of that, Audrey made the connection of the reply to "ignore him" from before. She found Mr. Fool like the boundless ocean, and a mere avatar of blasphemer Ammon was just a rock. It could only cause a tiny stir and nothing more. Although Ammon's avatar came to find us Tarot Club members, Mr. Fool has said to ignore him, so there's no need to bother about him. Praise Mr. Fool. Audrey's nerves that had just tensed up instantly relaxed. Lin, Fors, and Derek also figured out something similar. They either leaned back into their seats, exhaled openly, or praised Mr. Fool from the bottom of their hearts. Katlia hadn't joined when Ammon possessed the son Derek, and she had only learned of it during a few of the subsequent discussions. Therefore, she knew little and didn't have deep thoughts about it. She just felt worried over the situation where Ammon, a king of angels, was seeking out the Tarot Club members. Why would a king of angels like Ammon target the Tarot Club? He likely discovered our organization from the sun. What goal does he have and why is he so confident? He is targeting Mr. Fool. He can sense the abnormalities of the gray fog. But Mr. Fool said to ignore him. This means that, under normal circumstances, Ammon is unable to tell who is a Tarot Club member. With Kings of Angels appearing, is the fifth epoch coming to an end? After Alger relaxed from his tense state, he began thinking about something else. Back when he informed the Church of Storms about Banzi Harbor's problem, his excuse was that he had heard someone at a bar mentioning it. And he had described this person using blasphemer Ammon's image. Thankfully, even if the church were to encounter Ammon, with the way they handle things, they wouldn't verify and question this matter. And regardless of Ammon's performance or because of his identity, they will definitely find him extremely suspicious and place weight on this suspicion. Alger wasn't worried that he would expose himself for this trivial problem. He only believed that it was best that he should be careful and not randomly use high-ranking beyonders, especially angels and above, as scapegoats. Hence, he warned himself, although not every high-ranking beyonder is at the level of any mention of it will be known, or have similar powers, mentioning it excessively might result in me encountering that existence due to the machinations of fate. After all, the higher one goes, the deeper the connections of fate will be. Seeing that the Tarot Club members, especially the three who were in Backland, had already shown signs of wariness about Ammon's avatar and had written off the thoughts of being rash and not plan on targeting the blasphemer, he calmed down and leaned back, leisurely looking at everyone as an indication that the floor was theirs. Katlia reigned in her worries over the northern and southern continent, and the 5 Seas before looking to the seat of honor at the long bronze table. Honorable Mr. Fool, I have 3 new diary pages again this time. She remembered vividly that, at the end of last Monday's tarot gathering, she had informed the meaning of the 2 Rosalian characters to Queen Mystic. However, she only received a reply on Sunday. In it were 3 new diary pages and a question of medium length. The place his mind and spirit calls home, is it on that island or the depths of the cosmos? When Katlia ruminated over this question, she seemed to sense the emotional upheavals that were happening when Queen Mystic wrote it, unlike her usual calm self. With regards to this, she sighed silently based on her understanding of Queen Mystic Bernadette. In Her Majesty's heart, Emperor Roselle is an unresolved knot. This is the reason why she ultimately doesn't dare to advance to Sequence 2. Klein had no idea what Ma'am Hermit was thinking. All he did was nod and indicated that she could conjure the new Roselle diary pages. Soon, the 3 yellowish-brown goatskin pages appeared in his palm. 10th March, I participated in that ancient and most secret organization's gathering. After many observations, I'm increasingly puzzled over a problem. What does it mean to be the trend of the times? Who defines the trend of the times? If it's really as they claim, when everything ends and the original creator is resurrected from the dead, awakening from his slumber, he would gather everything back into his body to create a new world and new history. Then, there's no need for them to let the times develop according to what they expect of the times. They can quickly come up with all kinds of schemes, such as triggering a world war, a war between angels, or even a war between deities. Wouldn't that accelerate their goals? Or could it be the case that the times is part of the original creator? Only when the times develop according to a certain expectation can he draw energy from it and revive. This isn't scientific. Of course, whatever I see and participate in now isn't scientific at all. Actually, if I had any say, why revive the creator who rides above all? Everyone can just go through the motions and enjoy themselves without any restrictions. Isn't that better? Based on my observations, there are many members who share similar viewpoints as mine. However, there are a number of members who are stubborn and inflexible, strictly abiding to their beliefs. I wonder if they should be called idealists or crazy cultists. What I can't see through the most is that mysterious leader. Old Mr. Hermes told me that this organization began with him, It was organized with people who shared his beliefs and goals. However, he seldom expresses his thoughts, never stopping many of the members who use the organization for their own purposes. At times, I will even forget his existence. He seems to enjoy sitting there, silently watching everyone converse. But on one matter, I witnessed his might. A high-sequence beyonder who had gone against their so-called trend of the times was put forth by him. In 30 seconds, the person became a target of elimination, and I believe that the poor fellow wouldn't survive past summer. Who is he, some ancient god that survived the second epoch? Roselle had used 2 question marks at the end of the sentence to express his strong doubts. This was something he seldom did. Hence, Klein suspected that this was the reason why Bernadette had chosen this diary entry.